Okay, so we are going to create an auxiliary view and finish out a drawing of a drill block, and the drill block looks like this. It's basically a rectangular block with one inclined face in it and a hole in the center of the face, so it's a very simple part. But the only way we can see the hole properly is if we look vertically down it and then we see the hole in its proper size. And we have to do the same in the drawing if we're going to dimension it properly. We can't dimension it when we're looking at it at an angle. So we want to create this on this drawing. So we have already created the side view of the block and the end view of the block. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a chamfer on this corner here, and the distance of the chamfer is 80 millimeters by 28 mil. So we go into the chamfer tool, which is here. Hit the chamfer tool. Down at the bottom here, the default says setup, so we'll select enter to pick the setup, and we put in the first chamfer length, which is 28, and I've done this second chamfer length as 18. Okay, and now it's saying select the first object to chamfer, so that's the one that's 28 mil line, and this one is the 18, so there's our chamfer. So that's the chamfer done. We've now gone as far as we can with these two views, or as far as we want to go for the moment, until we finish out the view with the hole. So that goes on an auxiliary view. So our auxiliary view is going to be placed out here. So we'll pan down a little bit. And what we want to do now is, down here in the bottom corner we have what we call our user coordinate system, XY. We want to change that coordinate system so that we are working in this direction here and perpendicular to that. So what we're going to do, we don't find it on the command palette, so we have to type it in on the command line. We type in UCS for user coordinate system, and what it's saying is specify the origin of the coordinate system. So if we pick this point here, and then we pick this point here as a point on the x-axis, and it then asks to specify a point in the XY plane or accept what we're seeing at the moment. I'll accept what we're seeing at the moment, it looks fine, so enter. We have now changed the coordinate system. Our next step now is to start creating this other view in this direction, and in order to do that, as usual, we put in some construction lines, and I'm going to put in some vertical construction lines, but you will see now that vertical now means in the Y direction, so they're not actually vertical on your screen. So we put in construction lines at the various points here that are going to be picked up on the auxiliary view, and I think we've got them all. Okay, we've used the UCS command to line up the views. The next command I'm going to use is one called plan, P-L-A-N. Just type in P-L-A-N and enter. And it asks, do you want to align with the current UCS? Yes, we do. And if you look at it now, what it does is it makes that XY plane appear in the XY direction, which is useful when you're drawing this next part. Pick this line here, and there's a nice little icon here which says make the objects layer current. So make that current, make sure we're drawing in the correct layer. We'll draw a line across here, say about there, perpendicular to that, and just take the end of that line and drag it in perpendicular here. Okay. We then offset. So we offset that line there, and we want to offset it by the same distance as from there to there. So we pick, down you say it says specify the offset distance. We just pick that distance from there to there, and pick the object to offset, and offset it out that way, and it's done. Finish out by drawing a few lines. Enter. Enter to start another line. Enter. Enter again to start a new line from here to here. Enter. Another line here from there to there, and this line here will be hidden because of the bottom corner. We'll put in the hidden detail afterwards. Next thing we're going to do now is just create our circle on that view. So we put in a circle, and instead of trying to put it 15 mil down here, I'll just start off by putting it in the middle of this line, the midpoint. The diameter, you have to be careful here because it says specify the radius, and we want to put in a diameter, so the diameter is in square brackets, so type in D for diameter. Now it says specify the diameter of the circle. We put in 16.1 diameter, and there's the hole. Select that now and drag it out 15 millimeters, 15, enter in that direction. And with all of this, what we're doing here is we're making sure that our ortho is on, so that everything is being held in the XY directions. What we can do now is we can stick in some center lines, so we can put in center lines around the hole, center line cross in a hole, So you select the object and it puts in the center line. We may also at this stage draw in some more center lines because there's going to be one down the center of this view here. So we'll draw a center line there from that midpoint to that midpoint, and it automatically, when you're drawing center lines, extends them a little bit past the 2 points, which is quite useful. Okay, we can now also draw a center line through the bottom view. There's the hole there, down through there, and take that there and just drag it down. So there's our other part. And we can also go into draw a line from the quadrant straight down, and again trim it back or drag it back, stretch it back until you reach the intersections, and draw another line from this quadrant or that intersection down to here, and again if you go past the point and just drag back, you get it quite easy. So top view is complete. There's the face, there's the hole, there's the center lines on it. Okay, now the front view is complete and we just need to make these two lines hidden. So if we pick the two parts, that one and that one, and we go up into our layers and we just place them on the hidden layer. Just click on hidden and they will move on to the hidden layer. Okay. On this end view now, we also have to create the two sides for the hole. So one way of doing that is to offset the center line out and then turn it into a hidden line. So if you hit the offset command again, offset, the distance you want to offset by is from that quadrant as far as the center of the hole, and you want to offset that out by that distance. Now just turn that into a hidden, make it hidden, and then drag the ends of it in perpendicular. That's okay, and we can mirror that now and we'll finish it. We can mirror it now, mirror, pick that object and mirror it around that center line, and that's done. One more hidden line, and we just, so if we draw a hidden line now from here across, we are in the wrong layer, so we should be in hidden layer. And the part is now complete. To finish out the drawing, we can go back to our normal world coordinate system. So if we type in UCS again, and this time we accept the world view, and again we type in PLAN for plan, and we'll bring the thing back the way it was before. Go into your ISO for title block. Here's our part. We have clicked in on the viewport and the model space, and we want to freeze these in this current viewport. So go into the layers. There's our outline layer. Construction layer is AMCL, that's it there, and we just click on freeze in the current layer and come out. Useful command, because if you go back to the model space you can still see your construction lines, but in your paper space, in your paper view, you cannot. Go back into model space and apply your dimensions. We've put some dimensions here on the orthogonal views. Now on the auxiliary view we want to put the position of the hole. We want to mark the position of the hole in the auxiliary view because that's where we see it, and also we want to stick on the diameter. So again we have to go into UCS, and again we pick the coordinate system so we can take it from those 2 points. And again we see the icon now, accept that. The icon now in paper space has switched into the XY positions. So now we can stick on our dimensions in paper space. So a horizontal dimension will be from there to there in the X direction. So there's our dimension, 45, okay. And we also have a dimension in the vertical direction, or in the Y direction, which is now here. Okay. Now we didn't bother using the plan option here, we didn't need to. And then if we go UCS again, back to the world UCS, and we can just finally put in the diameter. Do not confuse the radius dimension with the diameter. Circles, full circles and holes always use a diameter, not a radius dimension. The radius tool is only used for arcs or radii. And that's it. We've got our dimensions here and we are finished. We can modify the title block and the part is finished.